what determines career success, and do grades matter? So as much as I have seen people's careers, in the last 2 or 3 decades of my working life, I have always found that what determines career success, or the question that is asked for, what is it that the most important quality that leaders should have? And one of the most important qualities that, as far as I am concerned, that leaders should have is probably empathy, right? I mean, people should be able to think for others and act on behalf of others, and that is one of the biggest qualities that people are looking for in terms of leaders. And leaders, in the sense of, it could be a political leader, it could be a leader in the organization, it could be a leader in your community, whoever you are. That is one of the most important things that people are looking for when it comes to even hiring in our own organization. So when we interview people, for example, in the last 10 plus years of running the organization and being an entrepreneur, when we interview people, what is it that we look for? Just coming from an industry background, and of course there are, I see George Matthew sir and people who have a lot more experience in industry and hiring than I have. But what is the most important thing that we look for is basically, of course, communication skills. We have spoken a lot about it, but we look for attitude. We look for people, what have they overcome in their life so far, and what understanding do they have? I mean, especially when we are talking to people right out of college, I try to understand what was the motive behind whatever education they have. And we do not discriminate between engineering or diploma or ITI or anything like that, as long as they really have an interest in whatever career they are seeking. And what we have found is, if somebody is genuinely interested in forming a career, and especially I'm talking in the last 4 or 5 years, they go to an extra length in acquiring whatever knowledge in that particular domain. I have seen that a lot. And then we now have the startup culture. I think before the thing started, we were just talking. I think I heard Mr. Sandeep talk about teaching entrepreneurship in kids. It's very hard, but at the same time, there's also some amount of involvement that students are taking now to learning about what's going on around the world, be it technology, be it any other domain. They are doing that. So we actually look for that kind of genuine interest that anybody has for anything, the passion, right? So when somebody has a passion for something, whatever be it, we can guarantee that they will put their efforts into doing that. And another very important thing that what determines career success is basically sports. We look for people who have been participating in team sports. Team sports is a very, very important thing. Like people who have been playing cricket or football or volleyball, that's a very important thing that basically teaches them how to work as a team. And how do you because individual success in a corporate world is largely determined by the group success. If you want to succeed, your team has to be successful. And we are not basically looking at one Supermans or Superwomen in the corporate world, but we are looking for people who are willing to contribute to the success of a team. And for that, team sport is a very, very valuable thing. And one of the drawbacks also I see in our own education system from school is that there is not a lot of importance given to sports. It used to be, but I do see a change that's coming up. I mean, one of the things that we see, if you look at the American education system, there is a lot of value given. If you look at volleyball or basketball and things like that, or baseball even, the college committee, the selection committee comes and attends the games, and they look for good players, and they're looking for good players to become part of their organization, their universities. That is because they know that these people can contribute not just in the sports way, but they can contribute in many other ways, to the organization. So just a recap, we look for communication skills, we look for practical, and most of the interviews that happen, like Sri Kumar just mentioned that we don't even look at certificates. I mean, yeah, we really don't ask for the certificates anymore. In olden days, in all the movies, when they come for interview, they hand over the folder with all the certificates, and the people go through that. That's a thing of the past. Nobody does that anymore. We don't look at those. We just ask them questions. But we do look for, we just ask them what have they done during their 3 years or 4 years of college, and we watch for the passion in which they explain what are the most important things that they have done in the last 3 4 years, which is basically looking at the practical knowledge and do they have an understanding of what they have done. The project doesn't matter. It could be any small project or any even non-academic projects that they are very passionate about, but we look for where they're really involved in doing something during their college. And last but not least, we always look for the values, ethics and integrity. See, technology we can teach, but values we cannot teach at that stage. Values are something that it needs to be imbibed at a very early stage in people's life, and we always look for values that people have. I will touch upon, like, do grades matter in I have a timer here. I don't want to go overboard. It's already 8 minutes. Grades do not generally matter, and right now we recruit largely from engineering schools, and that engineering schools have this habit of back papers. People, when they completed the 4 years, they still have some what do you call that, arrears, some back papers that they haven't cleared from year 2 or year 3 or anything like that. We don't look at that. We don't look at, if you have if you failed, and engineering schools are also very they have accounting, they have managerial accounting, cost accounting, they include all these, and some of these people don't understand the financial concept, so they must have failed finance paper in the second year, and they're still trying to clear that because they are not very keen on that. So we don't look at grades as much. But to be honest, we do look for kind of a trend in grade, like somebody who is a school topper when it comes to 12th or something like that has failed all their engineering exams. So we just want to know, okay, what really happened, because you were scoring 90 plus on things like that. But when it comes to engineering, we just generally like to know what happened with their life during that phase. But it never has been a factor in determining who joins our company or who doesn't join. Exam success again is a factor that we don't really consider that much, and it's not just me. And it's a very thing, right? I mean, when we look at, again, looking back 10 years ago, all major corporations, you can name Infosys, TCS, Wipro, they don't encourage people with back papers. If you had failed in any subject during your engineering, you are not qualified from applying. Those days are gone. They don't care anymore. Infosys doesn't care if you have a back paper, or TCS doesn't care. So you can apply for any other jobs in any of those things, because they realize that that is not a real indicator of somebody's performance or somebody's thing. So because of this is when it becomes very surprising to me when I see that there's so much importance given to marks in grade 10 and grade 12. I mean, the grade 12 marks, I mean, even with the entrance examination to all major universities now, I think there is a new change also coming in from a central level, saying that all the universities are going to be I mean, again, that is just going to shift the pressure from the 12th grade exam marks plus to another, like NEET or something like that. It will shift. The pressure will now go to the entrance exam marks from the 12th. But what is the importance of the marks, in one person's life after that? Because after your university admission, nobody is going to care for your 12th grade mark or the 10th grade mark anymore. So it's just building up an undue pressure. So I think the awareness campaigns that we should run should go both for the students as well as parents, in terms of making them understand that these marks can only get you through some place, but there are a lot more skills that you can develop, you can imbibe in your children, that will be valuable for the rest of their life. With that, I will stop, and then maybe when we have a Q&A or a discussion, I will elaborate if anybody needs more information.